Welcome back. As we said in the last video, we will be explaining why batch culture is used for the production of penicillin. So there is only one reason for this, because penicillin, let me just use this, penicillin is a secondary metabolite, okay? This is the only reason. Now all this, there are many points which relate to this. Now we need those points, okay? Now we should say that this one, penicillium, okay? This penicillium, we just need this one, penicillium, okay? We might need to, penicillium, what you can say about penicillium? Penicillium does not produce penicillin does not produce penicillin until in the final stages, okay? So, and okay, when you begin to run out of nutrients. When is this final stages? When nutrients are very low, okay? When nutrients are very low. Now, and the penicillin is a secondary metabolite. So penicillin is because penicillin is a secondary metabolite which is produced when penicillium does not when penicillium is at its final stage, when the nutrients are very low, okay? Are almost running out now, very low, when nutrients are very low. And continuous culture has no yield of penicillin. Therefore, because of this reason, we come to see that actually the penicillium, the continuous culture does not have yield of penicillin, since it never reach stationary phase of growth, the place where the nutrients are limiting, very low, almost zero, okay? Continuous culture does not have yield of penicillin since it never reaches stationary phase of growth, okay? So hope I made myself clear. And never reaches stationary phase of growth, because continuous culture, as we already say, because continuous culture has only exponential growth rate, has only exponential growth rate. So hopefully I made myself clear here, and the point I trying to say is understood. Then we go to the last final question, which I think is almost the same to what you have done. With reference to figure 4, describe and explain the difference in the concentration of penicillin in the culture when the pH is controlled and when the pH is not controlled. Okay, so we can just check here. When the pH is controlled, okay, the penicillin concentration increases, okay, very high, to up to about 35, and when the pH is not controlled, the concentration goes very low. I mean, the penicillin concentration goes very low, and I guess there is a point of pH control in this, right? Temperature control and nutrients are depleted at the end. pH and temperature, as well nutrients should be kept constant. Okay, so in continuous culture, nutrients are constantly added and removed, and this pH and temperature are controlled, okay, are controlled normally. So hope that's understood. And yeah, so we were in the last question here. So when pH is controlled and when pH is not controlled. So when pH is not controlled, this is a continuous culture, okay. pH is not controlled, continuous culture. So when pH is not controlled, first of all, the first point is when pH is controlled, the rate is always high. The penicillin concentration is always high. Okay, that's the first thing you should know. It's always high. And then in the 200 hours, the highest for pH control reaction is about 34, and it goes on increasing until up to 200 hours, whereas this pH not controlled increases up to 80 hours only, and then it becomes stable. And this one just increases. This one, there is a point where it starts to decrease, okay. But then we are supposed to describe and explain the difference in the concentration of penicillin in the culture when pH is controlled and pH is not controlled. And even here, for this another case, when pH is not controlled, where it is when this yeah, I guess it's the same diagram. This is just showing the pH, okay, just showing the pH, and this one shows the concentration, okay. So I hope I'm making myself clear here. And then when explain why penicillin affects bacteria but not viruses. Okay, why penicillin affects bacteria. Let's first finish this question and check here. Penicillin is produced throughout the time period. Okay, penicillin production when pH is controlled. When pH not controlled, penicillin production increases to a maximum and then decreases. Okay, 2 penicillin figures plus 2 times figures. I guess this is understood. And then explanation: pH affects enzymes, okay, involved in penicillin production. When pH is controlled, optimum pH for enzyme is at approximate pH 7. When pH is not controlled, pH high above 7 decreases, stops penicillin production. Okay, so this is the explanation. Now this explanation should be using this another graph. As you can see, for pH control, where it reaches 7, so at 200 hours here it already reached 7, so this is the optimum temperature, so the concentration keeps on increasing, okay, because the pH is already constant. But in this case, the pH is not constant. pH keeps on increasing, and as the pH keeps on increasing, the concentration starts to decline. This is a very cool graph actually. If you really get this graph properly in your brain, then you will really figure out that this is a very cool graph. Okay, you should do it very well and try to see that the connection between these two these two variables. This is like a game or something, you know. So I hope you enjoy this graph if you do it yourself. And then they ask you explain why penicillin affects bacteria but not viruses, and the reasons are given here already. I guess I just I wrote them very clearly. The reasons, the glycopeptide, there's no peptidase, there is no peptidoglycan wall, and they do not have cell structure, they do not have metabolism. And with that I finish the question on penicillin. Hope to see you in the next videos, and please do this graph by yourself and try to see the relationship between these two variables. You will have a lot of fun.